Good morning, students. Today we are going to finish our chapter Principles of Inheritance and Variation. So we are going to discuss the last topic. Earlier we were discussing about genetic disorders, and there were two types of genetic disorders. One was Mendelian disorder, in which only one single chromosome is affected, one single gene is affected. The second is chromosomal disorders. Chromosomal disorders means here chromosome, the number of chromosomes are different. Either there is addition of extra chromosome, or there is deletion of a chromosome, or it can be addition or removal of complete set of chromosomes. Both the situations can be there. So complete chromosomes are involved. That's why we are saying chromosomal disorders. These chromosomal disorders are of two types. They are aneuploidy and polyploidy. What is the difference between aneuploidy and polyploidy? First, let's discuss about aneuploidy. Aneuploidy simply means when there is addition or deletion of one or a few chromosomes. So, there will be either addition or deletion of, we can say, one chromosome or few chromosomes. That is aneuploidy. Now, aneuploidy, though two situations are coming in aneuploidy, either there is addition of a chromosome taking place or there is deletion of a chromosome taking place. Whenever there is addition of extra chromosome, that condition is hyperploidy. That type of aneuploidy, when there is addition of extra chromosome, that is known as hyperploidy. And what will be the situation in hyperploidy? We know that human cells are having 46 chromosomes, and if I want to write down these 46 chromosomes, I can write down 44 autosomes plus sex chromosomes. This can be a situation, or if I am talking about a male, this is the another situation. So this is a normal condition. What is going to happen in hyperploidy? Suppose there is addition of one chromosome, and now the number of chromosomes are 47. So the autosomes are now 45 plus XX or 45 plus XY. This is hyperploidy, when addition, I have shown addition of one extra chromosome. So this will be the genotype of the individual. The second condition is deletion. Whenever deletion takes place, that condition is known as hypoploidy. Means there is removal of chromosome. It can be one chromosome or it can be more than one chromosome. So if that was 46 and deletion of one chromosome is taking place, now the number of chromosomes are 45. So if I write down the genotype, it will be 43 plus XX or 43 plus XY. That is hypoploidy. So aneuploidy can be of two types. If addition of a chromosome is taking place, we are calling it as hyperploidy, and if deletion of chromosome is taking place, we are saying hypoploidy. Now let's take some of the examples. First, let us talk about the reason why this situation, this aneuploidy situation is taking place. The reason behind it is known disjunction. If you remember meiosis, in meiosis we said that in meiosis 1, homologous chromosomes are going to separate, separated. They are going to be separated from each other. And in meiosis too, the chromatids are going to separate. This thing we already know. So whenever a cell is undergoing a normal meiosis process, in the first meiosis the homologous chromosomes will separate, and in the second meiosis the chromatids will separate, and the result is that in gametes we are going to have haploid number of chromosomes. This is the normal condition. But what happens when this processes fails to happen? Means either the situation is that homologous chromosomes are not separating at the time of meiosis 1, then what happens? And the second situation might be that chromatids are not going to separate at the time of meiosis 2. So whenever either of the condition is happening from these situations, the gametes that are formed will be abnormal. And what will be the abnormality? One gamete is going to have extra chromosome because of this non-separation, and one gamete is going to receive one less chromosome. So this will be the situation, and this problem is known as non-disjunction. So non-disjunction is inability of chromosomes to get separated at either stage of meiosis. It can be meiosis 1 or it can be meiosis 2. And the result of this non-disjunction is that the gametes that are going to form, they will have unequal number of chromosomes. So let's see a simple situation of non-disjunction. I am taking two cells. In one cell, I am going to show a normal separation of chromosome, and in one cell, I am going to represent the process of non-disjunction. Say in cell, we are taking two homologous pair of chromosomes. This is chromosome number 1. This is 2. So these are two homologous chromosomes. Same situation is present over here also. This is the condition that is here. Now what is going to happen in meiosis 1? Here the cells are going to form, and there will be separation of homologous chromosomes. So each cell is going to receive a homologous. Out of these homologous, one chromosome will be there. This is the situation in a normal condition. Now what happens over here? Here we are going to represent non-disjunction. Non-disjunction means, suppose I am taking this chromosomal pair, this homologous pair, and showing non-disjunction over here. That means one cell is going to receive both these homologous pairs plus extra one more. This one also is going to come. If it would have a normal division, then they are going to get inherited into different cells, but this is not the case over here. So this is the situation that we are going to have in the process of non-disjunction. If 4 cells are going to form from here, these cells are going to have, now the chromatids are going to separate. We are going to get 4 cells. This is haploid number of gametes that are going to form in normal conditions. Over here again 4 cells will be present, and the cells are receiving the gametes. This is the type of gametes that are going to form. Here the condition is n plus 1, one extra pair chromosome is there. Here also n plus 1, and these are n minus 1, n minus 1. That is the condition that is going to take place in non-disjunction. This is showing non-disjunction. So in two gametes, extra chromosome is added because of non-disjunction, and from two gametes the chromosome is being reduced. So these are the situations that are changing the number of chromosomes. So this is how what is happening in aneuploid. Whenever there is addition of chromosome, say in a diploid cell one extra chromosome is added, this situation is called trisomy. That means out of two homologous pairs one extra chromosome is also present. It can be situation when two new chromosomes are added, that is tetrasomy. This is how addition, the number of chromosomes that are added. It can be a situation when there is reduction of one chromosome takes place, and this condition is known as monosomy. And when complete homologous pair is removed, that is nullisomy. So these are the terms given when the number of chromosomes are going to increase or decrease. This is what aneuploidy is and the reason behind aneuploidy. The second type of chromosomal disorders is polyploidy. Polyploidy simply means there is increase in complete set of homologous chromosomes. In aneuploidy, we are saying either one or few chromosomes are added or deleted out. Here there is addition, there are extra chromosomes that are present, and how many extra chromosomes are present? Complete haploid set is present. So complete set of chromosomes are going to increase. That is polyploidy situation. Suppose in an organism, it mostly takes place in plants. This was the genotype. Then what is going to happen? It can be a situation when extra chromosomal set is present. So we are going to get a triploid situation. This is a triploid situation. This is a diploid situation. Or it can also happen that it is going to convert into a tetraploid situation. This is a tetraploid condition. So here chromosome numbers are increasing, but whole set of chromosomes are increasing, and that is polyploidy. Now this polyploidy can also be because of non-disjunction. But now non-disjunction is not related with only one or two chromosomes. The complete homologous chromosomes. Or suppose an organism is having 23. So all the chromosomes, they fail to separate and they are going to inherit in one single cell. And when this diploid gamete, so suppose because of non-disjunction a diploid gamete is going to form 2n, and when this diploid gamete is going to fuse with a haploid gamete, say n, the result which we are getting is a triploid organism, that is 3n. Or if it is going to fuse with another diploid gamete, we are getting tetraploid situation or 4n. This is how the number of ploidy, here ploidy is going to increase. Now polyploidies can be of two types. One is autopolyploidy, means set of chromosomes are increasing, but that they are going to increase in a single species. We can get a triploid, tetraploid or hexaploid situation, but the number of chromosomes are of one single species. Say we can take example AA, or it is getting into triple A, that is a autopolyploidy situation. The second one is allopolyploidy. Allopolyploidy means there is increase in set of chromosomes, but that is between two species. Suppose the condition is AB, one set of chromosome from one species and another from another species, and that is going to increase in number. That is allopolyploidy. So this is how aneuploidy and polyploidy are different from each other. We have to study some of the aneuploid situations in human beings that are causing genetic disorders. And all the conditions which we are going to discuss, they are aneuploids, means in some of the conditions there is addition of a chromosome that is taking place, and in some situations deletion of chromosome is taking place. The first one is Down syndrome. Down syndrome, it is also known as 21st trisomy. In Down syndrome, there is non-disjunction that is going to take place, and in this non-disjunction, the 21st chromosome is not going to separate, and it will get inherited in a single gamete, and when this gamete is going to fuse with another normal gamete, the condition will be there is addition of one extra autosome, and that extra autosome is the 21st chromosome. So if an individual with Down syndrome is born, the symptoms that are going to appear is there will be Mongolian. Let me write the symptoms. Mongolian eyelid folds. There is broad forehead. The mouth that is permanently open. So permanently opened mouth with protruding tongue. Mental retardation also. Plus other organs like heart, kidney, various organs are also affected because of the Down syndrome. Now, when we see the genotype of an individual with Down syndrome, then the condition is there will be extra chromosome. The normal situation is 44 plus XX or 44 plus XY. So here the situation is the individual is, if girl is there, it is 45 plus XX, and if a boy is there, it is 45 plus XY. This is the situation. And these type of child, they are basically born when a lady is more than 40 years of age. So with more age, the chances of having a child with Down syndrome increases. The second is, if you see it clearly, it is a hyperploidy situation in which addition of a extra autosome is taking place. The another one is Klinefelter syndrome. Here also there is one extra chromosome that is added, but that extra chromosome is X chromosome. One extra sex chromosome is present in an individual. Now two situations can be there. The situation is that the gamete, the ovum that is going to form, this ovum is having both the X chromosomes which are not separated because of the process of non-disjunction, and they are going to fuse with a normal Y, means a normal sperm that is carrying Y chromosome. Now genotype of the individual will be XXY. Or the second situation can be there is a normal ovum containing only one X chromosome, but in male the sperm is having XY and they are not going to separate because of non-disjunction. And now also this is the genotype that is taking place. Both the situations can be there. This individual will be a male with some female characteristics. Some female characters will be there, like appearance of breast, long legs are there, there is meshy hairs. So this is a normal male but with some of the female characters. More the number of X chromosomes will be there, more mental retardation will be there. The third one is Turner syndrome. Now these were hyperploidy situations. Turner syndrome is a monosomic condition. In monosomy we said that the situation is 2n minus 1. There is removal or reduction in one chromosome. So what is the genotype over here? This is XO. In an individual that is a female, and this female is only having one X chromosome, the second X chromosome is missing. Now the situation here, also two situations are possible. Either the normal ovum is going to fuse with a sperm that is not containing any of the chromosome, the situation is XO, or the ovum is not having any of the X chromosome and it is going to fuse with a sperm that is containing X chromosome. Then also this is the condition. So this is how the Turner syndrome, the females which are having Turner syndrome. Now these females are of very short height. There is reduction in the size of ovaries. There may be or may not be the menstrual cycle taking place in these, and they are showing male characters. So these are females but they are showing some of the male characters. These are the genetic disorders that are taking place in individuals. So with this we are completed with our chapter.